You can see me. Alright, so hey, let's just start out by going, this is C, this is C, and this is C. And that this C up here on the A string, 12th fret, we have our pinky and the fingering we actually learned is like the same as this one, just a whole octave up. So, pause the fucking video and just go and be like, alright, this one is C, this one is C, this one is C. And then think about them in any other order but that. Like, seriously, get a deck of cards out. Take out ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shuffle, there's, that's it. That's everything you're going to need. I know it's like a pain in the ass, but you'll actually memorize it. Alright, take out ace, deuce, and 3. 1, 2, 3. That's section 1 that you're working on. And those are the ones you know the best. 1 and 2 center around C here on the A string, 3rd fret, where it's like, a bunch of notes now. Or here's some notes. And that one, feeling like a reach, it's just what it is. I want you to play really, really slowly. And before we move on, we're going to really be mindful of not bending the strings as you play. So definitely plug in and listen to what you're doing. And, it really just has to come straight in at the strings. And that goes back to when it was harder to push down and you had to be like, oh, I'm going to make this vice grip thing that you don't have to do anymore. So right now you're going to learn 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to randomize the order that you think about them in. And then, so stop and do that. Or like just go on random number generator, Google 1, 2, 3, it'll do the same thing, deck of cards, whatever the shit. But you actually have to do it, or your brain will make its own little patterns. So, just, you have to think about 3, then 1, then 2. No big deal. That's one way to do it. So then section 2. So then as soon as you feel like you're comfortable with that, let's stop playing those for a while, like until you've learned the other 4 really well. So the next 2 are 4 and 5, and they're the ones that center around not C sharp, but this C right here on the bass string. And they both go 2 of one thing, 2 of another thing. And then we point to that C. 5 is an index reach one where we're going 9th fret. Excuse me. That's one that really starts with the root. And this is where you're going to really need to start to be mindful of your thumb position and not bending the strings. That's where you start really doing it around the 10th fret, 8th fret. So 4 and 5. That is the only thing you're working on right now is 4 and 5. Just making sure to think about them in both orders. And then before you move on, do section 1, section 2. And then, now bear with me, this is just the way to actually get this shit in your head. Now, take the 6 and 7 out, but leave 1, ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, and shuffle them up. And, if you get like a 4 or a 5, just be like, alright, section 2, part 1, or whatever you have to do, as long as you have to, and then you'll just wake up not doing it that way. But now we're just working in 2s, so as long as you go 5 then 4, as well as 4 then 5, that'll accomplish it. So, and you just need to be sick awesome at those 5 before you try the last 2, though you almost already know them. So we're just going for each one's really just deeply embedded in your head. So cool. Then we get to the last 2, which are going to be the last 2 you work on because they're the least familiar. 6 is the one that starts on the 2 on D, so on Re. So if you want to, you can go and then start playing it just so it sounds right. Because that's one of the things that's been tripping you out. Is for starters that it's got a bunch of pinky reaches in it. So you've been starting with that fingering, but it actually goes 1 without a reach, and then the next 3 strings have a reach. So you can go. And then the sonic part of it where you want it to go. And it's really similar to that, won't be there. And then 7's the last one, and it's easy. Just first of all, let's just go, hey, here's the root, and the very first thing we talked about today. And this one seems to be the one that you know the least. The good news is it's mad easy, it's like, and you're confusing it with number 4. 4 goes 2 of these, 2 of these. 7 goes 1 of that first fingering, and 2 of the other fingering. And then just 2 notes up here on the high string. Cool, so, same thing, just be sure to go 6 and 7. then 7, then 6. And now what I'd like you to do is draw up random number generator 4, 5, 6, 7, or just take the 1, the 2, and the 3 out of your deck, shuffle them up, so that you're not thinking about section 1 that you already know, but you're thinking about 4, 5, 6, and 7 on their own. And you know, this is something you can really do in a half hour or whatever. Any of the sections that we're talking about right now. So that's our new strategy, is kind of breaking them into sections, and then and only then, when you start to get comfortable with that, randomize the whole thing. Which just, if you feel comfortable calling out random numbers in your head, that's cool, but I do warn against that, because everybody subconsciously sets up patterns where 2 makes me think about 6, because it's simply just, whatever. So ideally, actually do get some kind of random number generator involved, roll a die, and every other time you hit 6, play 7. So, we're pretty much saying the same shit we have been. So, if you get to this point in the video and you're actually killing it all, which is what we need to be able to move on to the other things we've been trying to get at, like, just doing play and point in one position on the fretboard, which the only sticking point is you don't know the fingerings yet. It's not that you don't get the concept. So yeah, we need to just actually finish this part. So that's our new strategy, is having sections and not really playing 1, 2, and 3 too much, because you already know them. And that's the way piano goes, it's like top to bottom, but you're already good at these, so we're just going to do the last 4, the ones that you actually have to work on. So if you get to here and you have extra headspace, it would be great if you use both fingers. You're just going first finger on everything. The worst possible thing would be to now, because I said that, remember and try to be thinking about going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 the whole way, because we're really having more of a left-hand heavy week. But ultimately, you're going to be alternating fingers, And at first, everybody wants, that one feels more natural. So, just in some context, pick one of them and try to alternate pick, But no big deal. The only technique thing I really want you to focus on is not bending the strings. So there it is. It is sort of just the same shit we've been saying, but new concept is just really don't even play 1 through 3, and section 2, 4, and 5, 2 of this, 2 of that, and then the last 2.